Hello, everybody. It's the weekend. It's the Mighty Glue Stick. We return again to the infernal realm of the Nine Hells. And here we have the surface layer of the Nine Hells as seen from Avernus. And down on the surface, we see that it is awash with all kinds of horrible, nasty beasties and citadels and things like that. So today we're going to be concentrating on one of the specific monsters that you find on the surface of the Nine Hells, on the layer of Avernus, and that is the Lemure. Now, the Lemures are essentially souls of mortals that have been twisted by their deeds and their horrible pacts and their terrible life choices, and are on their way to becoming devils themselves. They have fallen and they've been rejected by all of the other heavenly planes. The divine realms have said there's no hope for these horrible scumsuckers, and they live out their lives in absolute torment on the surface of the Nine Hells, as the food and playthings, laughing stocks, and basically kick toys and torture plushies of the devils. And yeah, they take the form of shapeless, diseased, barely formed humanoids that essentially they can't talk. They're just blubbery, malformed, sort of fetal-like beings, small, wretched, have a look of anguish permanently etched across their face, and their little mouths babble but cannot speak. They can't actually form coherent sentences, although they can carry out basic tasks. They have an intelligence of 1. They have a wisdom of 11, a charisma of 3, dexterity of 5, strength of 10, and constitution of 11. So they are kind of wretched and pathetic. They have an armor class of 7, which is basically just blubbery flesh, and they have 13 hit points and a meager speed of 15 feet. They can resist cold, and they are immune to fire and poison. They're also immune to the conditions of being charmed, frightened, and poisoned. They have dark vision out to 120 feet, passive perception of 10, and they can understand infernal, but they can't speak it themselves. They are challenge rating 0 creature. But these things basically attack en masse, and they are everywhere, like a carpet that covers the Nine Hells. And they have this, so magical darkness doesn't impede their vision, and they basically crawl around and go everywhere. Unless they're actually physically shut out of a place, they'll crawl around trying to get away from whatever torments. Basically just trying to find any way to get out of the Nine Hells. And it is through this constant questing to get out of any nook and cranny, to crawl into any crevice to get away from the torture of the devils that walk among them, that they quite often are a good indication that a portal has opened up to a mortal realm or some other realm throughout the multiverse, which the other devils quickly seize upon, throwing the Lemures aside. But very often when you open up a portal to summon a devil, a Lemures will inevitably crawl through as the first sort of wretched filth that comes through, stinking of their sulphurous, rotty flesh. They do have a fist attack, which is +3 to hit with a 5-foot reach, where they slam one target and do 1d4 bludgeoning damage, average damage of 2. That's about it. They sort of, so you could represent that as many flailing little fists smacking at you. And you're really only in trouble if they crawl all over you and sort of pin you down and pummel you to death. Now, death is something that Lemures unfortunately do not have the luxury of. They have been inflicted with this curse of rejuvenation. So part of being rejected and consigned to the Nine Hells means that their souls have nowhere else to go. So when they die in the Nine Hells, they come back to life within 1d10 days, unless they've been killed by a good aligned creature with a bless spell cast on it, or that creature or its remains are sprinkled with holy water, probably by a good creature. So really, you've got to go out of your way to kill a Lemure. And the fact that these things are eaten while kind of living by other devils just gives you some idea of, like, they're constantly being torn apart, used as playthings and food. tortured and tormented and twisted by the devils and ordered around to do whatever they want. Occasionally, they will be singled out and particularly tough or sturdy lemures that are showing a spark of intelligence, that are more or less consigned to their torment and have started to lord it over the other lemures will be singled out, and they will be invested with additional demonic power, and the devils will cause the lemure to transform, tear apart, and out from its corpse will step a fully formed imp or spined devil, most commonly an imp. Spine devils are also quite small, not as nearly as tiny as an imp, but either way, a large amount of the flesh of the lemure falls away and the imp crawls free. Imps, of course, are much more intelligent and wily, and the spined devils are, well, they're airborne, both of them, and the spine devils are small but quite dexterous, and they can use a weapon and their spine attacks, whereas the imps have got a poison sting and natural invisibility. But yeah, the lemures themselves really don't have any special abilities at all, other than the fact that they're just everywhere. They represent the mortals that have been twisted and taken by pacts, and they are the fate of every warlock or anyone who's ever made pacts with devils, because they're going to end up as lemures and be the playthings and the living stock, the bio stock of the devilish war engine. Yeah, they're the fallen ones, those mortals who have been consigned by the devil's trickery and taken out of the divine realm's clutches. So yeah, first in the series of devil creatures, and we'll carry on with more of those later.